he already has a support system, and it continues to grow with us as players. We stand behind Antonio. We hear for him whenever he wants to talk. We talk to him. Whatever. It's just the relationship that we have, and everybody goes through things. And they need people to be there for him, and we there for him.
You hopeful he can turn this around and still have
Absolutely.
a season for you guys?
Absolutely. Can't wait to have him back.
Go ahead, Nate.
What is it about him makes you think he can get this right?
I mean, the kid has all the abilities. He has all the tools to be a guy that can make plays at a high level. He has the speed, the catching ability, the route running, all those things, and if we can get that all together, he's going to be a hell of a player.
Did you have an inkling that he was struggling in any way? Were you already kind of helping him and boosting him up a little bit?
Yeah. I mean, we talked. Didn't really have any true idea about what was really going on, but we talked, and I think again, just being a support system, all the guys in the building, from top to bottom, being behind them and supporting them, and helping them through this tough time, because it is a tough time for them, regardless of the fact.
Higgins has been around for a while now, and he's been kind of conspicuous in this camp. What is his game that might indicate, in addition to the fact that Beckham and you are there to take heat off him, what in the overview might be different for him this year, and maybe give him a breakout year?
Yeah, I mean, he made a lot of plays last year, that I can still remember. He made plays out there today. He's been making plays throughout training camp. He's definitely a guy that is going to help us. And he's going to make plays, and we trust and know that, and Baker has the trust in him, and he has the confidence in himself to be able to make the plays when he's called.
As an expert in the slot, how would you rate him as a slot guy?
Yeah, no, man. I think Higgs shows his versatility. He's been playing a bit inside. He's been playing a bit outside. So he's showing his versatility, showing that he could be more than a slot guy. I think all slot guys want to show that they can do more than play in the slot. So, he's been showing that, and he's been making plays. So.
You feel like he's ready to kind of take that number 3 role and run with it when Callaway's not in there?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, the room is full of competition. It's full of competition. I think everybody has an opportunity to play. Everybody's going to get an opportunity to make plays as well. So, just for us, just think about it and looking at it. Again, when we start to scheme teams and things like that, guys will be able to step into their role that way. And, when they're called, they'll make the plays, I'm sure.
Well, Terry, during the video, you're watching it, and you're watching the body language. What did you get from the body language?
Well, when they were talking about Antonio Callaway, of course, the player unity, we were to support Antonio, we want him to do well. But if you watch, he's almost like biting through his lip, and he's looking elsewhere. You'd want to talk about that.
Yeah, but he handled it well.
Yes, he did, and that's what a veteran does.
Right.
But we've all been in that situation. You're asked something, you really want to say, I am tired of this guy screwing up, And
well, they say it after when the guy's gone.
Because really, remember, this is a guy who hasn't missed a game, Jarvis Landry.
Right.
He plays like 90% of the snaps. He doesn't miss practice. Now they hold him out in preseason, partly because the last thing you want to do is have this guy get hurt
right.
In a preseason game. But Les, when you flunked the drug test at the combine, that is a horrible sign, because they tell everybody who's going to the NBA Combine, drug test coming, your agent tells you, the league tells you. In fact, the league doesn't even want guys to flunk. You got to kind of hit a high number on this one, because it just looks bad for the league. Okay. Now, he had a, quote, diluted test. And please, let's stop with he just smokes a few joints or whatever. If they were doing that, that would be hard to field a team. These numbers on these tests, just like Josh Gordon used to say, it was the Josh Gordon camp that kept saying it was only marijuana. Turned out later it was all kinds of things he was flunking it for. And remember, there was a reason Antonio Callaway didn't play his senior year at Florida, and it simply was not because he liked to smoke some weed. There was a lot of other things going on there.
More stuff to that. So,
yeah.
All right, so here you have John Dorsey, who brings on all comers, apparently. How far can you go with these guys? How many questionable character? I even hate to say questionable character, but there are some guys who aren't following the straight and narrow. So how many can you have around?
Not that many. You can have a couple, but not that many. In my mind, I wouldn't have taken. I want you to think about this, Les. You're Antonio Callaway, all right? You get suspended at Florida. That means you don't play at all. And it wasn't just marijuana. So there's off-field incidents. There's all kinds of, there's police reports, stuff going on. The draft comes. You get picked in the 4th round. You get a $700,000 signing bonus and your first year's salary of $480,000, which is pretty much
That sounds
guaranteed.
like $1 million.
$1 million. So you're telling Antonio, hey man, and remember, you also flunked the test at the drug. You drug the test, as they call it, the scouts call it, the idiot drug test. Don't be the guy that flunks the drug test at the combine. So the message
It's almost like the SAT. Just sign your name and get 400.
right. The message is mixed, Les. It's like, yeah, we're giving you another chance, and you get $1 million. Josh Gordon was the same thing. Flunked all these drug tests, got booted out of Baylor, couldn't get it together at Utah. 2nd round, the Browns guaranteed him $3 million. The signing bonus was $1.8 million.
I don't get it. So the question is now, what happens to Antonio Callaway?
Well,
as far as the Browns are concerned.
And then on top of it, he was out of shape.
Well, that came up later.
No, but I asked what was wrong with him when I was down there. I thought he really looked lackadaisical. And if you remember, in part of the mini camps, he only showed up for about half of them, the voluntary ones.
That's true.
There was a bunch of junk going on with him. So in my mind, anything that looks remotely, I've kind of lost interest in him. I'm much more, I'd rather see Jalen Strong and the rest of these guys. How about, it's interesting to me, like this guy DJ Montgomery. They find this guy playing at Austin P.
Right.
I had to look him up. Caught 42 passes last year, 10 for touchdowns. He's made some nice catches, both in training camp out there. And, the game is like, obviously Antonio Callaway's got more talent. But I'm like more interested in this guy or Derek Willies or somebody. These guys that flunked the drug test and everything at the combine,